أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu and welcome to today's class. I hope you're all doing well inshallah. Well done to all of you for arriving on time. Jazakumullah. Just a few class rules to remember before we start. Please make sure that your heads are covered because we are reading from the Holy Quran. Please make sure that you are logged in with your correct IDs. If you are logged in with your incorrect ID, you may find yourself in the waiting room and you will be asked to join the class again. Please make sure that your videos are off and that you are sitting in a nice and quiet place with no disturbances in the background so that your voice is clear when you are called to the mic. So just a quick announcement before we start as well. As you can see in front of you, this announcement is regarding our Jalsa Yom-e Masih Maud. So on Monday 23rd of March, G2 will be holding an online Jalsa in class from 6 to 7 p.m., which is our usual time. And students, you are invited to submit recordings of the following if you would like to take part: Tilawat, Nazm, or speech. So if you would like to take part in Tilawat in our Jalsa Masih Maud, you can do so by sending in a recording of you reciting Surah Jummah, first 5 verses. So that's chapter 62 in the Holy Quran, verses 1 to 5. So if you would like to do Tilawat in there, in the Jalsa, then please send a recording of you reciting this portion of the Holy Quran. If you would like to take part in Nazm, you can do so by sending in a recording of you reciting a couple of couplets from the following Nazms. So either one of these two. So the first one is Khuda Ta'ala ka shukr aur dua bazban Amma Jan Razila Ta'ala Anha, or Shan-e-Islam. So these are both from the book Dur Samin. So if you would like to take part in Nazm, you can do so by sending in a recording of you reciting a few verses of these Nazms. And finally, for speech, if you would like to take part in speech, you can do so by sending in a recording of a speech that is suitable of your choice, obviously on the topic of Hazrat Masih Maud, as it is Jalsa Yom Masih Maud, and the speech should be between 4 to 6 minutes and no longer. So that is the information regarding if you would like to take part in speech at the Jalsa. Now, these recordings, please send them to the following email address: info@nqc.org.uk. Please ensure that you write G2 Nazm Tilawat or speech submission in the subject box, of course, according to whatever you are sending a recording of. So if you are sending a recording of Nazm, you would write Nazm, Tilawat, or speech. In the body of the email, please ensure you include your student name and your G2 ID that you were issued with and the ID that you log in with in class. And whilst you're sending your recordings, please use the email that you registered with us to send that email. And the deadline to send in your recordings is Monday, 16th of March of obviously this month, and 9 p.m. is the deadline. So if you would like to send in a recording, please do so as soon as possible. It's a great opportunity, and if you would like to take part in Tilawat, speech, and Nazm, you can do so using the information that I've just given you. This announcement will be repeated throughout the classes, or if you've missed anything, you can obviously refer back to the recordings that are available online. One more announcement before we move on. Can the following IDs please contact us as soon as possible on the following email address: info@nqc.org.uk. So the IDs that we would like you to contact, please, are A1118 and A5345. So if these two IDs, if you're in class today, could you please email us, and in the subject box of the email, please write FAO G2 in charge. Okay, so could these two IDs please contact us as soon as possible? So Moving on to our lesson of the day. Today we will be focusing on student recitations in today's class, and we will be covering the following surahs. We will be covering Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-Baqarah, and Surah Al-Ghashiyah. And so we will be covering these three surahs, and we will of course be focusing on students coming onto the mic and reciting a portion from the Holy Quran. So if we move on to our prayer for the day, if you could please have a student on the mic.
Assalamu alaikum. Our first student is A7403.
Jazakumullah. A7403, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Okay, I'm going to ask you to read this highlighted prayer, please. So please start from Dawood and Tasmiyah, and please read this prayer.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا.
Okay, well done. And the translation, please.
Oh Allah, I ask you for beneficial knowledge.
Well
Ibn
done.
Majah, Hadith 925.
Excellent. Well done. Really nicely read. Jazakumullah for your help. So, like I said, we will now be moving on to our surahs of the day. So, the first surah that we will be looking at is Surah Fatiha. So, if you could please have a student on the mic.
Yes. Next Nasra is N8369.
Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum. N8369.
Walaikum assalam.
Okay, so I'm going to be asking you to recite a few verses of Surah Al-Fatiha, and I'd like you to remember all the rules that we have learnt so far and apply them whilst you are reciting. Okay, so please start from Dawood and Tasmiyah and start from here.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Okay, well done. Excellent. That was really good. And carry on, please.
الرحمن الرحيم.
Well done. So we must remember that these two ra's would be thick sounding ra because they have a fatha on them. So Ar-Rahmanir Rahim.
الرحمن الرحيم.
Excellent. Well done. Please carry on.
مالك يوم الدين.
Well done. Excellent.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Okay, well done. Excellent. You're reading really well. Just one thing I'd like you to concentrate on is your sound of the Ain letter. Okay, so na'budu.
نعبد.
And this would be nasta'in.
نستعين.
Excellent. Well done. Please carry on.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
Well done. Excellent. Just one slight thing. It's just a matter of pronunciation and the way you read something. But this alif has a kasra underneath it. So we know that anything with a kasra underneath it is pronounced as E. Okay, so alif with a kasra, E. So that is how the sound we're going to carry whilst we're joining to the ha. Okay, ihdina sirat al-mustaqim.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
Excellent, well done. Now in this verse over here, could you point out to me the thick sounding letters?
دال.
Okay, are you sure dal is one of the thick sounding letters?
No.
No, it's not one of the thick sounding letters, so try another one.
قاف.
Yes, excellent. This qaf is a thick sounding letter, so taqim.
تقيم.
Excellent. Can you point out any others?
صاد.
Yes, swad as well. When you say it, we need to say it with a thick, rounded sound. And one more.
تا.
Yes, excellent. Okay, so these three letters we need to be careful of whilst we're reciting to produce a thick and heavy sound. Okay, excellent. Well done. That was really nicely read. Jazakumullah for your help. Let's have another student on the mic, please.
Yes, next student is A7361.
A7361, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to carry on and finish the surah for me. And remember, be mindful of all the rules that you have learnt so far, please. So, Tawud and Tasmiyah first.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Ameen. Okay, well done. Really nicely read. Just a couple of things to be mindful of. Again, remember your thick and heavy sounds. So, Sad, Fa, these are all thick sounding letters. The Ain you pronounced nicely, which was really good. And of course, this Dad as well. It's when you pronounce it with a thick and heavy sound. Okay. Maghdubi.
مغضوب
ولا الضالين.
ولا الضالين.
Okay, well done. So over here, this again, we have a dod. So that's why when we pronounce it with a thick and heavy sound. And over here, this is stretching the sound of da, carrying it on for about 4 to 6 seconds because of the maddul kabir, and then joining it onto the lam with the ya madda. So this, again, we have to be really careful when we're reciting this as well. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do is just start again from the verse over here, please.
Should I start with Thousand Tasmiyah?
No, because you've already read it, it's fine, so you can start straight away.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Well done.
Ar-Rahmanir Rahim.
Yes, excellent. So you're being mindful of the two ra's over here, that you're saying them with a thick sound, rounded mouth, because they would be a thick ra over here. Carry on.
Malika Yawmiddin.
Well done. Excellent. And one more verse, please.
Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in.
Excellent. Well done. Now over here, another thing to be mindful of is the rule of waqf on a letter preceded by a mother letter. Okay, so what that means that over here, you can see as well, over here at the end of these verses, you can see that the last letter comes after a madda letter. Okay, so for example, over here, this noon, when we stop over here, the letter before it, ya, is a ya madda. So that means that we are able to, when we are ending our verse, we can end with a longer stretching sound. So we can stretch this ya madda for up to 6 seconds. So between 2 to 5 seconds. Okay, so I can say this as Alameen. Okay, so that will help to really beautify my recitation as well. Okay, and the same thing goes for over here, and of course over here as well. And then how could over here again, the rule that of waqf on letter preceded by mother letter is applied over here as well. So if you were to read this, how could you read this?
Yawmiddin.
Excellent, well done. So rather than just pronouncing it for a normal 2 seconds, because you're ending the verse after the madda letter, you can stretch your sound for even longer, so up till 6 seconds according to your recitation and how much breath you have left. Okay, otherwise, well done, excellent. That was really, really nicely read. Jazakumullah. And let's have let's actually move on to our next surah now. Okay, so this was Surah Al-Fatiha, and mashallah, everybody read really nicely, whoever read. So we are going to now move on to Surah Al-Baqarah, and we will be carrying on from where you left off in yesterday's class. So in yesterday's class you covered till up till verse number 11, so we will be carrying on from that. So I've highlighted the place we will be carrying on from. So if we have another student on the mic, please.
Yes, N8404.
N8.
Well.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Okay, so I'm going to be asking you to read the next couple of verses. So if you start from Ta'awudh and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدوا في الأرض.
Okay, now over here, remember that this lam alif, it indicates that it means do not stop. Okay, so this is a sign in the Holy Quran that means that we shouldn't stop over here. So we would carry on reading. Okay, so we would say ardi and then carry on. Okay, so if you can start from here again.
أرض قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون.
Okay, well done. Excellent. Really nice to read. Just a couple of things. So over here I've highlighted this because this qaf is a thick sounding letter. So try saying this again, producing a thick sound for the qaf.
Ki,
Qila.
kila,
Yeah, so we're saying it from the throat. Qila lahum.
kila lahum.
Okay, well done. Just practice this a bit more because when we're reciting, there should be a difference from how we're reading a normal kaf and then a qaf. Okay, so for example, over here, this is a kaf and then this is a qaf. So we need to produce that thick and heavy sound to indicate that we are reading a qaf and not a kaf. Okay? And then, of course, over here, this lam alif means we do not stop. So whilst we're reciting, we would not stop here, we would carry on reading. And then over here, I've highlighted this sign over here. Can you tell me what this sign is called?
I forgot.
Okay, this is a mad saghir. Okay, this is a mud, and there's two types of mud. There is mad saghir and mad al-kabir. So this is mad saghir, which means that we recite anything that has a mad saghir on it for about 3 to 5 seconds. So qalu.
Qalu.
Well done, excellent. Okay, and then over here, remember your gunna sound. So gunna is nasalization. So whenever noon has a shadda on it, okay, that means that we have to hold a nasal sound in our nose for 2 seconds while we say it. So innama.
Innama.
Okay, well done. Excellent. Okay. And then, of course, whilst we're ending the sound over here, like I said to the previous students as well, do you remember the rule that I just mentioned about when we're ending the verse on a letter preceded by a madda letter? How many seconds can I stretch this for?
2 seconds.
Yes, normally, yes, you would end it, you would say this for 2 seconds, but because after this, we are stopping at the end of the verse, we can stretch the hu sound out for about 2 to 6 seconds, okay? So we can stretch it for even longer than that. So, lihun.
Lihun.
Okay, well done. And let's do one more verse, please.
Allah.
Ala.
Allah innahum هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون.
Excellent. Well done. Really nicely read. So in the beginning over here, you corrected yourself, which was great. So this is two separate letters, a and then la. You're stretching for about 3 seconds because of the mad al-saghir. And then the ghunna sound, you did really well over here. Well done. And then over here, remember that this is the rule of idgham kamil. Okay, so that means that if after noon sakin, you look at the next letter. Okay, if it is not ya or vaw mushaddad, then no nasal sound is produced. So no nasal sound will be produced between this kaf and this lam. So we'd say killa.
كلا.
Excellent. Well done. Okay. And of course, at the end over here, again, you have your ending on a letter preceded. Preceded means a letter that comes after something. So this noon, when you stop over here, this noon comes after a letter of mad. It's vaw madda. So that means you can stretch the sound out of the vaw madda for about 6 seconds if you would like. Okay. So well done. Excellent. Really nicely read. Jazakumullah. Let's have another student on the mic, please. Allah Hafiz.
A7403.
A7.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to carry on, please. Tawud and Tasmiya first.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون.
Okay, well done. Excellent. Nicely read. Just a couple of things I've highlighted as you were reading. Remember your thick and heavy sounds. So this qaf, like I've been saying to the other students as well, thick and heavy sound should be produced here. So قِيلَ لَهُمْ.
قيل لهم.
Okay, well done. Good try. So also remember, especially in this verse that you've just read, there are a lot of places where the sign of mud is found. Okay, so for example, over here, on top of this meme with the fatha followed by an alif madda, it also has a maddul saghir on it. So that means how many seconds should we pronounce that for?
3 to 5.
Excellent. Well done. So try reading this one again.
كما آمن.
Okay, so that was a bit too long. Just 3 to 5 seconds is enough. Okay, because obviously you have another mud which is even longer than this. So that's the madul kabir. So that one needs to be stretched for even longer. So we need to still have that sort of difference between the two mud. So this is madul saghir. And if you look down over here, this is madul kabir. So this is madul kabir is thick and madul saghir is a thin line. So madul saghir 3 to 5 seconds, madul kabir 4 to 6 seconds. So a bit longer than madul saghir. So just 3 seconds. Kama.
كما.
Well done, much better. Now over here, again, you have maddu saghir found on top of the vaw madda. So how would you say this?
قالوا.
Stretch it even longer, 3 to 5 seconds.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Okay.
قالوا.
Okay, well done. So this is a thin line that is found on top of this madda letter. Vaw madda, you can see on top of that, you have the maddu saghir on top of it. So we need to be careful of that. Again, you have another maddu saghir found on top of this alif madda over here. So, kama.
كما.
Excellent. And then again, over here, you have maddul
كبير.
kabir on top of it. So now this one is even longer. So this one is about 4 to 6 seconds. So faha.
Faha.
Well done. Excellent. Okay. So like I said, there's lots of incidences and I've highlighted them. Over here, again, maddul saghir. Over here, maddul kabir. So we need to be careful of those. And then over here, again, the rule that we just looked at with the previous student as well, this is the rule of idgham kamil, in which no nasal sound is produced between joining the kaf and the lam. Okay, so if after noon sakin you have vaw mushaddad or ya mushaddad, then a nasal sound is produced. Otherwise, no nasal sound is produced. Okay, so that's something we need to be careful of whilst we're reciting. Otherwise, well done, excellent, really nicely read. Can we have one more student on the mic, please?
Yes, N8390.
N8390, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to read the next verse. It's a bit long, so I will ask you to read that one. Start with Dawood and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا لقوا الذين آمنوا قالوا آمنا وإذا خلوا إلى شياطينهم قالوا إنا معكم إنما نحن مستهزئون.
Okay, well done. Excellent, really nicely read. Just be careful of a couple of things whilst you are reciting. I've highlighted them. So what I'd like you to focus on is please your timing, okay? So what I mean by timing is if something has a madda letter in front of it, that means that needs to be stretched for how many seconds? Can you tell me? So for example, this dal has a fatha followed by an alif madda. So how long should this be pronounced for?
2 seconds.
Yes, well done. So how would you say this?
وإذا لقوا
Yes, excellent.
الذين
Yeah, well done. Excellent. Okay. So anything with a madda letter in front of it. So madda letters are alif, vaw, and ya. So these are the madda letters. We need to be stretching that sound for 2 seconds whenever we see it. Again, over here, you can see that dal, fatha on top of it, followed by an alif madda. So stretching for 2 seconds. And then over here, you can see that you have the letter ta with the kasra. And what's this? What do you call this ya? Ya madda.
I forgot.
Okay, this is called ya madda because the letter before it has a kasra. So this is called a ya madda. So whenever a ya madda comes, we need to again stretch it for 2 seconds. So how would you say this? Excellent. Well done. And one thing you did really, really good was this lam, alif, whenever it came over here as well. You did not stop there. Okay? So this lam, alif indicates that there should be no stopping whilst you're reciting. So we carry on reading and we should not stop. Okay? So well done. Excellent. That was really nicely read. Actually, let's do one more verse with you.
الله يستهزئ بهم ويمدهم في بطغيانهم يعمهون.
Well done. Excellent. This is a ha. So, hoon.
هون.
Well done. Excellent. Really nicely read. Over here, you said this lam as a thick lam because the word Allah comes and the letter before has a fatha. So, Allahu, like that, which you did really, really well. Just one thing I highlighted over here. I think you pronounced this. This is a hamza. Okay. So, just be careful not to pronounce it as an ayn. Okay. So, this is simply u. It is pronounced as if it were an alif with the sound of an alif is the same sound that you would pronounce for a hamza. So this is u, and then obviously you carried on and then you read really, really well. Okay, excellent. Well done. That was really nicely read. Jazakumullah for your help. So that was Surah Al-Baqarah that we completed a few verses of. What we will do now is we will move on to our next surah, which is Surah Al-Ghashiyah, and this is a new surah that we will be looking at today, and of course we will be asking students to come onto the mic and recite. And I'd like all students to, when they come onto the mic, to be careful and be mindful of all the rules that you have learnt so far and try and apply them whilst you're reciting. Okay, and it's very important that you also know the names of the rules that you are reciting. So if I ask you a question as to what this is called or what this is, and so on and so forth, that you are able to answer correctly. So for that, it's very important that you're revising the names of the rules as well, and then you are obviously applying them whilst you're reciting as well. Okay, so let's have a student on the mic, please.
A7382.
A7382, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. So we will be covering Surah Al-Ghashiyah today, as I said, and we will be starting from Dawud and Tasmiyah, please.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هل أتاك حديث الغاشية.
Okay, well done. So I'm just going to ask you to stop at each verse so that I can just correct anything that needs to be corrected, okay? So just really nicely read. Just over here, this is an alif, okay? So I think in the flow of it, you pronounced it as an ayn. So just be careful that this is an alif. Hal ataka, okay? So
هل
not...
أتاك.
Yes, so remember not to go deep within the throat and produce the sound of an ayn. This is a simple alif.
Okay.
And can you tell me what letter this is?
D.
Yes, this would be pronounced as dithu. Okay, so you need to be careful. I think you pronounced it as another letter. Okay, so try reading this verse again, please.
هل عساك حديث الغاشية.
Okay, and this is ta, not tha. Okay, هل أتاك حديث الغاشية.
هل أتاك حديث الغاشية.
Yes, well done. Excellent. And I'd like to point out to all the students as well that you mashallah read it really nicely. So you're stopping over here. So the last letter is ta marbuta. So the rule is that when you are stopping on ta marbuta, then the ta marbuta becomes a ha sakin. So this would become turn into a ha with the sukoon on top of it. Hence the reason that you are producing a ha sound at the end. Shiyah, like that. Okay, well done. Excellent. And let's carry on, please.
وجوه يومئذ خاشية.
Okay, well done. So over here, remember that you're producing a nasal sound in between the ha and the ya, and then just holding it in your nose for about 2 seconds. Huyao.
هو.
Okay, so not a solid noon sound, a nasal sound. Okay, so just in between in your nose pipe, just a sound that's made between the ha and the ya. يومئذ خاشية.
هم يومئذ خاشية.
Okay, now also, if you notice that when I read this, I produced a light nasal sound when I said the so over here actually, so over here again at the end of this verse, again this ta marbuta is turned into a ha sakin. Okay, well done, excellent. Let's carry on, please.
عاملة ناصبة.
Excellent, well done, really nicely read. This ayn sound, remember, try and practice that. And over here the ghunna sound would be applied over here, so tunna.
تنا.
Okay, so wherever you see a noon with a shadda on top of it, just remember ghunna sound. Okay, and of course over here, ending of the verse, this becomes a ha with a sukoon on top of it. Okay, and let's carry on.
تصلى نارا حامية.
Excellent, well done, really nicely read. Jazakumullah for your help. So we will carry on and we will have another student on the mic, please.
Yes, N8394.
N8394, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Okay, I'm going to ask you to carry on reading, please. So, Tawud and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تسقى من عين آنية.
Yes, well done. Excellent. So, just one thing I want to draw your attention to is the rule over here of izhar noon sakin. Okay, so there's two instances in this verse where that comes in. So you can see over here and over here. Okay, so let's quickly refer back to that rule, izhar noon sakin. So izhar noon sakin or tanween, or otherwise known as clear pronunciation, noon sakin and tanween. So when you see noon sakin or tanween, look at the next letter. If it's any of these letters here in this table, then noon sakin or tanween is a clear sound and no nasal sound is produced. So as you can see over here in the two places that are highlighted, you can see that after this noon sakin, you can see that the letter is ayn. Now you can see that ayn is one of the letters in this table, which indicates that no nasal sound should be produced for the noon sakin or tanween. So that means that when you say this, you would say this as tusqa min ay. So you're not holding the nasal sound in your nose. Okay, so you're simply saying min and then carrying on. And then the same thing goes over here. So you can see that noon is the letter over here, noon, and then it has a tanween underneath it. And what's the next letter?
The next letter is alif.
Yes, the next letter is alif. So as you can see over here in the rules, that it says that if after tanween you have alif, then no nasal sound is produced. So you can see over here that after this tanween, it's an alif, so no nasal sound will be produced. Okay, so try this again, just keeping that in mind.
تسقى من عين آنية.
Yes, excellent. Well done. So this rule is just indicating that you shouldn't hold the nasal sound in your nose because of the letters that come after it. Okay? All right, wonderful. Let's carry on, please.
ليس لهم طعام إلا من ضريع.
Okay. Well done. So over here, just a couple of things to point out. As you can see over here, I highlighted this one because you held your meme sound in your nose for a bit longer than you needed. So you can see that over here, the rule of izhar meme sakin would be applied. So the rule of izhar meme sakin, let's quickly go back to that to remind ourselves. So the rule is clear pronunciation meme sakin. When you see meme sakin, you look at the next letter. Is the next letter meme or ba? No, then no nasal sound will be produced. So that means that when we go to hair, after this meme sakin, is the next letter meme or ba? Yes or no?
No.
No. So that means that you wouldn't hold the sound of the meme sakin in your nose for more than 1 second. So you just simply say it and then carry on. Lahum.
Lahum.
Yes, well done. And then over here, do you remember the rule that we just looked at of izhar meme sakin, izhar noon sakin? So the rule would be applied over here as well because meme has a tanween on top of it and the next letter is
Alif.
alif. And if the next letter is alif, do we produce a nasal sound or do we not?
We don't produce.
Yes, we don't. Excellent. So this would be simply mun illa.
Mun illa.
Excellent. Well done. Now over here, after noon sakin, the next letter is
God.
yes, dad. And dad is not one of the letters in the table. As you can see, is dad one of the letters?
No.
No. So that means we are to produce a nasal sound, which we hold for 2 seconds. So, min dari. Min dari.
Dari.
Okay, so da is simply fatha. So, min dari.
Min dari.
Excellent. Well done. And when you're stopping over here, this kasra then becomes a sukoon. Okay, so that means that when we're ending our sound over here, we must end with the sound of the ayn. Okay, dari.
Dari.
Yes, well done. It's a bit of a difficult one to pronounce, I understand, but we must give it a go. Okay, so because we're ending the sound over here on the ayn, and the ayn is produced from the throat, we have to end our sound knowing that there is the ayn with the sukoon at the end. Okay, so we just need to be careful of that whilst we're reciting. Okay, well done. Otherwise, you're reading really well. Jazakumullah for your help. Can we have another student on the mic,
Yes,
please?
fine.
Yes. A7404.
A7404, Assalamu alaikum. A7404, Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, we'll move to another student then. A7400.
A7400, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to carry on reciting. So Tawud and Tasmiya, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا يسمن ولا يغني من خو.
Okay, so just a couple of things before we move on. This lam, it has a alif madda ahead of it. So we must stretch it. So la.
لا
Excellent. So carry on. Start from here, please, again.
لا يسمن و.
Okay, so over here, this
La.
noon, it has a simple dhamma on it. So how long do we pronounce this for?
1 second.
Yes, 1 second. So minu.
Minu.
Yes. La yusminu.
لا يسمن.
Excellent. Now this lam, again, it has an alif madda ahead of it again. So wala.
Wala.
Yes. And over here, this is the letter. Can you tell me?
Kha.
Okay. It's not the letter kha, it is the letter ghain. Okay. So
Okay.
kha would look a bit would look longer than that. Okay. So just as you can see over, let me find. So for example, over here, this is the letter ha. Yeah, can you see this is a longer, it has a longer head, and then it carries on and to form the alif madda. Just like that, kha would also look exactly like this, but with a dot on top. And you
Yes.
can see over here that the ghain has a shorter and a thicker head, and then a dot on top. So that's how you can tell the difference between a kha and a ghain. So this would be yugh.
Yugh.
Yes, and how would you say this?
Ni. Ni.
Okay, how long you're stretching it for?
2 seconds.
Yes, why are you stretching for 2 seconds?
Because it has a ya socket next to it.
Yes, ya madda. Okay, so la yughni.
La yughni.
Excellent. And can you tell me what letter this is?
Ju.
Yes, this is ju. So over here, this you accidentally pronounced it as a khu, so just be careful of that. And of course, at the end of this verse, again, you can see that you're ending with an ayn, and this kasraten now becomes a sukoon because you're stopping over here. So when it becomes a sukoon, you're ending with the sound of the ayn. So when you say this, you have to kind of really try hard to pronounce that ayn at the end. So ju.
Ju.
Yes, so the ayn sound that comes from the throat, you have to really try hard to pronounce that sound. Okay, so try again.
Ju.
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 Yes, well done. Really good try, okay? And one more thing over here, you can see that after this noon sakin, you have a jeem, and jeem is not one of the letters in this table. So that means that a 2-second nasal sound is produced. So this would be mil.
Mil.
Yes, okay? So this would be the rule of ikhfa noon sakin. So that means you have to produce a 2-second light nasal sound. Okay, let's carry on, please.
Okay. Vaju. Vaju. Unya. Unyo. Ma.
Yeah.
Zinna. Ima.
Okay, so again, we need to be careful of our timings. So this is vaw with the dhamma. So this is, how would you pronounce this?
Vu.
Yes, vu. So you said as va, so be careful of that. Va with the dhamma, vu. Now over here, this bit over here, how you would pronounce it is ha joins onto the ya with a light nasal sound in between because of idgham naqis rule. So hunya.
Hunya.
Yes, and then you have a vowel lean ahead of it. So you take that sound and then you produce the sound of the vowel lean. Hunyao.
Huyo.
Excellent, well done. And how would you say this?
Zinna.
Yes, zinna, but then remember the alif madda.
Zinna.
Excellent. Zinna.
Zinna.
And then how would you say this last bit?
Ima.
Yes, ima.
Ima.
Yes, this ta marbuta becomes a ha sakin, so then you're ending with the sound of ha. So please recite this verse one more time.
Wujuhun yawma izin na'ima.
Excellent, perfect, well done. Really nicely read. Jazakumullah for your help. Let's have another student on the mic, please.
Yes, next student is N8376.
N8376, Assalamu alaikum. N8376, Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, we'll move to another student then. N8384.
N8384, Assalamu alaikum. N8384, Assalamu alaikum.
N8406.
N8406, Assalamu alaikum. N8406, you have the mic, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, should we move on to another student?
Okay. N8401.
N8401, Assalamu alaikum.
I can't.
N84.
Salam.
Okay, what's your ID?
N8401.
All right, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to please carry on reciting from here. So please start from Dawud and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لسعيها راضية.
Okay, well done. So just remember that this is the letter Dad, so thick and heavy sound, okay, when you're reading it. Diyah,
ذية
diyah.
ضية
Yes, well done. And carry on, please.
في جنات عالية.
Okay, well done. I've highlighted this because you said over here the noon has a fatha on it. Okay, so don't stretch it for more than 1 second. So, Jannah.
في جنة
Yes. Fi Jannah.
في جنة.
Excellent. And then over here, you can see that after tanween, the next letter is Ain. And Ain is one of these letters in this table, which means that no nasal sound of 2 seconds would be produced. So you are simply saying Tin Aliyah. Okay, so you're not holding the nasal sound of tin in your nose for more than 1 second. Just simply saying it and then carrying on. Well done. Excellent. Carry on, please.
لا تسمع فيها لاغية.
Okay, well done. Over here, this is a meme with a fatha, so ma, not mu. Okay, tasma'u.
تسمع.
Well done. Excellent. And then, of course, at the end, you're ending with a ha sakin because this ta marbuta turns into a ha sakin at the end. Let's carry on, please.
فيها عين فيها عين جارية.
Okay, your voice just cut out a little bit over here. Could you just please start from here again?
فيها عين جارية.
Okay, well done. So over here, this is a waqf lazim. So as you can see in the margin over here, it says waqf lazim. So you have to take a stop over here, and when you stop, this ta marbuta becomes a ha sakin. And remember that this noon has a tanween on top of it, and the next letter is jim, and jim is not one of these letters in the table, which means that a light nasal sound of 2 seconds can be produced over here. So, Ainun Jariyah.
عين جارية.
Yeah, so your light nasal sound is produced before you move on to the ja. Okay, let's carry on, please.
فيها سرور فيها سرور مرفوعة.
Okay, Fu'ah.
فوعة.
Yes, this ayn sound is something that please practice in your own time as well. Ayn sound comes from the throat, so we need to really practice that. It's something that doesn't really come naturally, so you have to make an effort to pronounce this correctly. Over here, I highlighted the ra because it simply has a fatha, so do not stretch it for more than 1 second. Suru.
suru.
Excellent. Well done. And the last verse, please, for us.
وأكواب موضوعة.
Okay, well done. This alif over here, I've highlighted because this is an alif madda. So what does alif madda mean?
You prolong it.
For
2 seconds.
2 seconds. Excellent. So akwa
فأكواب
bummau.
موضوعة.
Excellent. Well done. And of course, you're ending the verse over here on a ha sakin sound. Okay? Excellent. Well done. Really nicely read. Jazakumullah for your help. So that was verses 1 to 15 of Surah Al-Ghashiyah. And inshallah, you will be completing the rest of this surah. As you can see over here, you still have the rest of the surah, and you will be completing that in later classes, inshallah. So as your homework, quickly, your homework is to practice Surah Al-Ghashiyah, the verses that we have completed today. So that's verses 1 to 15. And focus on all the rules that you have learnt so far and apply them whilst you are reciting. Now work on ensuring you get the correct sound of Ain at the end of verses 7 and 8, and remember the timing of waqf on consonant when preceded by mud letter. So at the end of verses 7 and 8, as I highlighted in class, you can see that the sound ending is on the Ain. So when you end the verse, remember to produce that Ain sound so that whilst you're reciting, we are aware that there is an Ain at the end of the verse. Okay, so just be careful of that whilst you're reciting. Remember, as always, that practice is vital for improvement. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. And as always, timing is extremely important, as well as pronunciation. All right? And please be mindful of the announcements that I made in the beginning of the class of Jalsa Yom-e Masih Maud that we will be holding. So if you would like to give in any recordings for us to have a listen to for tilawat, nazam or speech, then please send them in to the email address info@nqc.org.uk. Now also these IDs A1118 and A5345, please get in touch with us via email on this email address. Jazakumullah, and we will end the class with the prayer. So if you could have a student on the mic.
Yes, A7382.
A7382, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. So I'm going to ask you to read this final prayer. So Dawud and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم. Oh Allah, have mercy.
Okay, and everyone, what this
Oh
goes
Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran.
And could you read this one as well, please?
واجعله لي إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة. And make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Excellent. Well done. Really nicely read. Jazakumullah. Jazakumullah to everybody for joining us in today's class. To all the students and parents, please make sure that you are revising daily and that you are doing your homework. And inshallah, we will see you all again same time tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.